Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Konnichiwa, and welcome to What's on Tap podcast. I am your host, Stefan.
I'm your host, Martin.
And I have been on a little vacation.
A very nice vacation when I looked at the photos.
Yes, it has been a lot of fun. We went to Japan for 2 weeks, and I went to Osaka, Kyoto, and Tokyo, and tried a lot of beers in 2 weeks. So went from level 1 badge, Japan badge on Untapped to level, I want to say 25 in 2 weeks, which is somewhere around 125 beers that we tried. Which sounds like a lot, but really somehow wasn't. So a lot of the bars didn't offer flights, but they did offer like the 20 centiliter pours.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So we were able to have a couple of those in a lot of places we went, and it was a lot of fun. So of course, whenever I go somewhere, I always like to bring beers back to try. And today I did bring back 2 beers. And yeah, I would say the brewing industry in Japan is very traditional. Like every brewery tap room we went to, they had basically 5 styles that they all went for. One was a lager, some sort of wheat beer, a saison for some reason.
Why?
Sure. And then they had usually like a dunkel or something kind of like a red ale or something like that. And then a kind of, 6 to 8% stout of some sort, but nothing really high ABV.
You don't mention IPAs.
Well, so I was going to say, so there was almost always a standard IPA and then a hazy or West Coast style IPA that they would throw in. And then sometimes, which we saw in quite a few places, some sort of like tea flavored beer, or tea was worked into a lot of the different beer styles. So it'd be some sort of tea-based IPA or tea-based red ale or tea-based stout. And some of them worked really well, and some of them were just like drinking perfume. It was quite intense. So that's why today I made sure that one of the beers we got to try was an odd flavored beer. So the first up, we have something from Deraileur, and they did a lot of fun cans that I think you could get these from the grocery stores. And so we made sure we got a couple of these things. And this one is a cardamom wheat beer, and it's called Boku Cardaemon. It's a 6% ABV beer. And I wish I could tell you more, but I gotta be honest, the translation app's not hitting this very well. It's having some real problems with what was that app called? I have another app I can look at, maybe that'll give us a better translation. But in the meantime, let's check.
Smelling it, it does smell like a Swedish cardamom bun.
It does.
That you would have for fika time. It actually smells a little bit like an imperial stout, but the nose deceives me because this is very yellow.
Oh, it's a very yellow, very traditional kind of wheat beer look. All right, let's try it. Cheers. Cheers.
Itadakimasu.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Actually, this is probably the best wheat beer that we tried when we were on vacation. It doesn't have a lot of the kind of banana esters that we got off a lot of the wheat beers, but it does have a really pleasant cardamom flavor to it.
The aftertaste is a little bit very bitter, but there's some cardamom in this one for sure.
So I'm reading so I have this. So there's this other app that you can use that's really good for translating Japanese called Kuli, Kuli, Kuli. And it does a much better job of translating than Google does, because it works as a literal translator and not as the creative translator that the Google does sometimes. This is called Boku Cardaemon. It's Osaka Brewery. And yeah, so it's traditional German style wheat beer with a cardamom. I'll just cut through all the extra blobbity parts.
That's interesting, because I was going to say, and they didn't go the regular German route of doing wheat beers because those flavors aren't really in it. And now I realize that's not the case. They probably aimed for a German wheat beer, but this is better.
Oh, this is much better. This is much, much better. Yeah, I quite like this. I think they've done a really good job here, and it's a lot of fun to drink. Very easy to drink. One of the better wheat beers that we had, definitely.
Yeah. So what would you give it?
I think I'm going to give this like a 3.5.
Okay, I'm higher. I'm at a 375.
Okay.
I thought you were going for a 4.
No,
You started raving a little bit about it. No, I think this is solid.
Yeah.
We've had a really warm summer. Today is less warm. This would have gone really well when it was
That's what I've
over 30.
That's what we heard. So when we left, it was only like 20 degrees here in Sweden. And then I heard that it got much, much warmer for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we missed the heat wave. But what we got instead were a weird weather phenomena where 2 typhoons merged, creating kind of a larger super typhoon. And then the second day we were in Tokyo, there were 3 earthquakes. So, yeah. So the super typhoon hit on the Friday morning of the first week we were there. And it started raining, and we left early in the morning to take the Shinkansen, the super train up to Tokyo. And we saw the like news reports and weather photos from like later in the day, just like what went from being like almost a non-existent stream was a raging river. It was really, really bad. So we left right at the right time. And then the earthquakes, I mean, we didn't even feel them. So it was really nice. But it had rained for about 4 days in a row. So we were definitely wet and tired a lot. So carrying around a bunch of heavy backpacks and shopping bags was not a lot of fun. Okay, so next up we have a triple IPA, and this is me. This is from oh wow, there's so much information here. This is from Ushitora Brewery. It's a 10% ABV, and it's called Sanjuku-ku Triple IPA. And on the nice red bold lettering on the front of the can says 30 passes. So whatever that means.
30, they went past it 30 times and dumped in ingredients, maybe. I doubt it.
Yes. It's a deliberate, aggressive approach to bitterness and aromatic complexity. Presented with the expected structural weight and intensity of the style, on the palate it delivers a concentrated wave of hop-derived bitterness balanced by a robust malt backbone necessary to support the elevated alcohol content.
It smells a lot like sweet fruits and not a lot like bitter hops.
Well, to be honest, it's resulting in a punchy resonance and citrus-forward experience that lingers long after the finish. All right.
Cheers.
Wow, that's actually quite good.
It is good. Here we get a lot of the bitter hops.
Yeah.
This is reminiscent of American West Coast stouts, like
IPAs.
Yes, okay. Sorry, my brain is. I am having yours.
We're all sharing in communal jet lag. It's like sympathy jet lag.
But the way American West Coast IPAs tasted in like 2010, like the Great Divide Hercules and those kind of like stone.
Yeah. Well, what I like about it is almost all the triple IPAs you have today are really aggressively sweet to cover the 10 to 12%, ABV. Whereas this tastes like you said, like a West Coast IPA, but coming in at maybe like an 8% or 7%. Yeah. With the citrus notes, coming in at the end, the orange or whatever. It's quite nice. And I don't feel that I'm getting 10% here.
No, I'm getting like 10% worth of flavor. There's a little bit of alcohol aftertaste, but not that it detracts from it. This is like a 4 for me.
Yeah, this is actually a 4 for me as well. I think this is it's really fun, exciting beer. And I love the can. I think it's really cool looking.
Yeah. So you mentioned the flight situation.
Mm-hmm.
But what was, did you go for a lot of cans and bottles when you were in bars?
No, we only went for what was on tap. We didn't do cans and bottles in bars. But we also went to a lot of bars that were like, all right, so we have 5 taps and these 2 are out. So I was like, I mean, you are a brewery. It feels like you could have more of your own beers on tap.
So you were like, okay, then we'll take the 3 that you actually have.
Exactly. So we did that quite often. And then if they had cans, we would just buy some cans to take with us after we left. And then the grocery stores actually had quite a lot, or I should say the convenience stores had quite a lot to go with. And I will say, if you've been watching social media posts about traveling to Japan, the egg sandwiches are fire. Oh my God, they're so good. And if you're doing one of so there's 7-Eleven, and then there's 2 local chains. One's called Family Mart and one's called Lawson's. Family Mart is the one that makes this thing called Fami Chiki. And basically all 3 of them make some sort of deep fried thigh cutlet. And they're all really tasty. I think Lawson's was my favorite of the 3, but Family Mart has the trendy one right now. So everyone goes for that. But yeah, I would say egg sandwiches, definitely incredible. And they also sell like regular sandwiches with lettuce and stuff, which sounds weird to say, but there's not a lot of vegetables. After all, we're kind of looking for like, oh, that's got lettuce on it. Let's get that.
So what was the price point of the bars? Well, getting, okay, I'll have the taps.
That's a very good question.
You don't remember?
Well, I don't remember off the top of my head, but we did document it. So let me just give you a breakdown real quick of some of the things. Overall, like eating and drinking and everything was pretty cheap. We didn't, like we went to Tokyo Beer Works and we had a flight and it was 167 crowns.
Yeah.
Which was like four beers.
4 beers. Yeah.
4 beers. So I didn't think that was too bad.
So that's cheaper than Malmö prices right now.
It was cheaper overall than what you get in Malmö.
And our listeners don't see this, but I am using Tokyo Ale Works coasters right now.
Right. They gave us a bunch of them. So I got a couple of 2 coaster types. I got one from Spring Valley, and then I got a couple from the McKellar bar as well.
Nice. But I'm being on brand.
We are bringing our brand, yes. So yeah, I would say on average we spent around $16 and got 2 to 3 beers, probably 165 crowns. So 114 crowns for a few beers. So yeah, overall, not too expensive. But yeah,
nice. It sounds like an amazing journey.
I would highly recommend going to Japan. It was so much fun. And I think the thing we miss the most now that we're back are the toilets. They're next level. We sit down and the seat's all warm for you, and you get that little surprising jolt of water. It's like at the butt at the end, you're like, woo! But yeah, I think, we're already kind of thinking, how soon can we go back? Because we thought, like I had mapped out this entire itinerary of things to see and do. And it turned out that, it just takes time to get anywhere. Plus, once you get to that area, you start walking around, pretty soon you've lost 4 hours and you're kind of like, oh, we don't have time to go anywhere else because all of the restaurants close pretty much by 9. So, and a lot of the bars closed by like 11. So it wasn't like we didn't go clubbing or anything like that. The trains were running at 12. So if you're not in your neighborhood, you have to take a cab or just stay out all night. So we usually got back to the hotel kind of early most nights by 9 or 10 o'clock. And that's mostly because, like I said, everything was closing at that point. So there really wasn't anywhere else to go or things to do. But yeah, I look forward to going back someday in the future.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, we'll wrap it up here. Unless you have any more questions about Japan.
No.
You worked the answer.
I can't think of any more questions.
Okay. I would say, what was our favorite thing to do was probably the sumo show. That was a lot of fun. It was super, super funny. I mean, it was really, really funny. And I think the most overrated thing was the Fushinari torii, the orange torii gates that you made that's in Kyoto.
Okay.
So it's a series of like torii gates, which are these orange, looks like a pie sign.
Yeah.
And then there's like a whole bunch of them lined up. And they go up the side of a mountain, a big hill, and it's just a bunch of steps. And then you realize, like, once you get so far, it's just the same thing over and over again. And you're like, I would say if you're going to go do it, go up the hill as far as you like feel like you've had the experience, and then just go home or go somewhere else, because it doesn't get better once you get towards the top. There's no amazing view. There's no like big rewarding experience, that you have when you get to the end of the line. It's just you get there and you're like, all right, it's the top. And then you have to turn around and walk on all of those stairs again. So, yeah, I wouldn't get too crazy about that. But overall, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for it. Definitely.
Nice.
Oh.
Brought back fun beers.
A lot of fun beers.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So we'll wrap it up here. And we'll probably have another review episode for Japanese beers in the future. So follow us online at What's on Tap Podcast, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you find podcasts, you can find What's on Tap. So until next time,
Keep drinking, you dum-dums.